Coming up, the naming of places and spaces in the new look Ipswich CBD. Almost 3,000 people visited Council's Shape Your Ipswich page to have their say or support names already put forward. Hear the discussions from the Council meeting held last Thursday. It's Sunday, September 27, 2020, and I'm Alan Roebuck. Welcome to Ipswich Today, which acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which it is produced and pays respects to elders past, present and emerging. This podcast is supported by Kinetics, people-powered web hosting trusted by Australian businesses since 1999. At Ipswich City Council's September meeting, councillors decided on 4 key place names in the city centre. From the meeting, Deputy Mayor Marnie Doyle led the discussions.
Nicholas Street Precinct, I guess, has been the marketing name used to market the area formerly known as Ipswich City Mall. The Nicholas Street Precinct is made up of various different spaces, alleys, buildings, including the council's new administration building, the civic space, Ipswich Library. So I guess we are not talking about the street name, Nicholas Street, as such. As the CEO, Mr. Farmer, spoke to earlier, the postal address, the official address for that strip at the top of Brisbane Street flowing down is known as Ipswich City Mall.
Mayor Teresa Harding.
I think we had around 22 different names that were suggested. I think it's interesting looking at the community consultation that occurred. Pardon me while I get the exact numbers. I think 2,938 people visited the Shape Your Ipswich page on it. We had 304 contributions and 2 email submissions. There were 6,405 thumbs up given to contributions when people visited. And obviously people continue to stay on and involved in that contribution. So really, to all the people that did go on to Shape Your Ipswich and contribute, I want to thank you very much for doing that. And you'll see as we go through our naming here that we are taking that into consideration. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the council team as well for doing that.
Councillor Andrew Fector moved the area be known as the Nicholas Street Precinct.
I wish to speak to the practicality of keeping it the Nicholas Street Precinct. There's a certain intimacy that a lot of people involved in this project have with that particular naming, and to go against that, being this far into having marketing material and having referred to it for so long now, it almost seems counterintuitive that we would decide on anything other than Nicholas Street Precinct.
Mayor Harding.
There's no other discussion. I'll put that to the vote that the council name the precinct currently referred to as Nicholas Street as the Nicholas Street Precinct. So I look around. I'm just going to go around the table because it's not unanimous. So Councillor Madsen has voted in the favour, Councillor Fechner, Councillor Doyle, Councillor Milligan, Councillor Johnny, Councillor Island and Councillor Kunzelman. Thank you very much. Those against, Councillor Tully votes against.
The next name decided was for the new civic space next to the new library and administration building still under construction. Basically, that's the area previously occupied by the old Woolies, the loading dock, the Travelators and a car park. Councillor Andrew Fechner.
I would like to move that council name the civic space Tulma.
Second. Tulma or Tulma Place?
Tulma Place.
Tulma Place. Thank you very much. I'll now open that up for discussion. Councillor Fechner?
A lot of work went into really pointing at the word Tulma. There was a big engagement piece that council ran before we were sworn in around how do we include our First Peoples in the conversation when it comes to naming places in a really important part of our city, particularly because it is a huge investment for council and the ratepayers. So I just want to commend that consultation and the outcome of that pointed specifically to the name Tulma Place. So I wholeheartedly endorse the work that they did and all of the consultation that led to that singular word for Ipswich, and I think that it has a wonderful ring to it. So I'm happy to endorse.
Deputy Mayor Marnie Doyle.
Would also like to express my support for using of the word Tulma, and noting that various council officers as well as yourself have gone to great lengths to seek expert advice and confirmation on the use of the word Tulma. And I know we've received confirmation from one of the language experts at Queensland Museums that Tulma does represent the views of several different Indigenous groups across Ipswich.
Councillors voted unanimously for the name Tulma Place. That left 2 more names to be voted on. The obvious name was chosen for the new library. It will be called the Ipswich Central Library. Council also discussed the official name for Bottle Alley. Mayor Harding.
This is probably the surprise of the consultation, I think. It was nearly unanimous with the consultation that people wanted Bottle Alley to remain Bottle Alley. I don't know, Deputy Mayor, if you'd like to comment?
Yes, Mayor. I note that there were a lot of individuals within the community that were a little upset, actually, that it was up for potentially to be renamed, but it's my understanding it hadn't actually been formally named Bottle Alley. It was just known within the community as that. And I think the community response is overwhelmingly in support for retaining the name Bottle Alley.
Bottle Alley was originally used to deliver supplies to a hotel in Nicholas Street. Public support for the name was very strong. Councillor Jacob Madsen.
I'd just add that at times there has been some negative perceptions of Bottle Alley, but in many respects I think it's a pretty colourful name. There's a bit of a story behind it, and if you talk to long-term Ipswich residents and you just say, oh, you know, Bottle Alley, they know the satellite point on the map. Straight away they know what you're referring to.
So, to summarise the 4 place names decided, firstly, Nicholas Street Precinct. This will apply to the overall precinct, which is between Brisbane, Ellenborough, Bremer and Bell Streets. Ipswich Central Library. This will apply to the new General Library set to open in the coming weeks. Tulma Place, that's spelt Tulmur. This will apply to the newly created Civic Plaza, which will be a focal point for the community, as well as a space where community celebrations and entertainment will take place. And Bottle Alley. This will apply to the existing laneway already known as Bottle Alley. The remaining places and spaces in the public consultation will be decided at a future meeting of Council. Ipswich Today is supported by Kinetics, people-powered web hosting trusted by Australian businesses since 1999. This podcast is also listener-supported. If you like what you hear, please make a once-only gift or regular donation to help keep it online. Just go to ipswichtoday.com.au and click the donate button at the bottom of the page. You can subscribe for free and share this podcast from your favourite app, including iHeartRadio, or play Ipswich Today from your smart speaker. Music is supplied by Purple Planet Music. This is Alan Roebuck. Thanks for listening.